Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and we have a few more questions today. This is our Saturday Q&A, and I think I have 4. Now, if you're leaving your questions on Facebook somewhere or something like that, I'm not finding them probably because that always gets lost. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below this video. If you don't leave them in the comments below this video, then I lose them, because if they're posted on Facebook somewhere, then I don't usually scroll my groups in Facebook. My admins do, so a lot of times they miss those questions. So please leave them below this video if you have any more questions, and I will try my best to answer them as best I can. And I've just got something pretty laying here for you to look at, so you don't have to look at my hands all day. My hands are very dry today, and I didn't put lotion on. Sorry about that. Okay, Brian Dickey says, Miss Edith, I'm interested in beginning to make PDFs for the projects I will be making for my future videos. What program do you use, and how much does it cost for the program? Also, if it's not free, are there free alternatives? Okay, what I use is Adobe Illustrator, and that has the Illustrator, it has Photoshop and all of that included in it. You get quite a few apps in that one thing, and I think it's like $59 a month. But before I started using this, there is a free one, and it's called Inkscape. Inkscape, I believe is how it's spelled. And it is free. It does kind of basically the same thing. You can do PDFs and things on there. To me, it was a little bit harder to use than Adobe Illustrator. Now, if you are a student or if you are a teacher, and I'm talking about a teacher with a certificate, then you can get Adobe Illustrator for like $29 a month. But I feel like the $59 a month is well worth me paying that in order to be able to do PDF files for you guys. I pay that. Normally I don't even sell the files, as y'all know. Normally I give them away to you guys, but I pay that so that I can make those PDFs, so that you can make the projects without having to sit and figure out all of the measurements or drawing something out or whatever. I do all the hard parts for you, and then I give them to you guys. So Inkscape, if you want to start out there, Brian, that would probably be a good place to go. And then once you get on into it, then you can probably go to Adobe Illustrator. And I will link both of those below, so you can go check them out if you want to. This is from, let's see, Nereyda. I'm sorry, I probably won't pronounce names that I can't really pronounce because I don't want to butcher them. Trevino 2, she says, what can you do with a Crop-A-Dile eyelet setter punch besides tags and gift bag holes? You know, that's a good question. That is a really good question. I have never really thought about that before. I have done some different things with the Crop-A-Dile, but it's been many, many years. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let that be our Tuesday tips, tricks, and techniques video. I'm writing it down so I won't forget. And I will come up with as many options as I can of different things to make using your Crop-A-Dile, because that's a really good question. And it's, you know, you do invest a little bit of money in a Crop-A-Dile, so you want to be able to use it for more things than just to punch holes with in your tags and gift bags. So watch for Tuesday's tips, tricks, and techniques, and between now and then I will do some research and some practicing, and I will come up with some different things that you can do with your Crop-A-Dile. Okay? Alright, Elsa Cleary says, when did you start crafting, and what did you start with? I started crafting, well, as I told everybody last week, I've been crafting one way or another ever since I was a little bitty girl. I loved making the little paper dolls, and I had lots of people who commented and said they used to cut those paper dolls out of the Sears and Roebuck catalogs too and make little paper dolls and things out of them. And I've always been interested in making something out of nothing. I used to, every Christmas, I would make all of my brothers and sisters and my aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews, whoever, I would make little gifts for all of them. It just made me feel good to make the little gifts and give them to them. A lot of times it wouldn't be much of anything because we were raised dirt poor. We had nothing. So sometimes it would be just a little notebook or, whatever. But I would make something for everybody. I continued doing that all the way up through even into my married life. When my children were born, I was still making and giving gift baskets and different things to people at Christmas and at birthdays and Valentine's Day and things like that, because I just love to give. I love to make things and give it to someone. But when I really started being serious about concentrating on crafting is when my grandson was born in 2000. When he was born, my daughter Melina actually said, "Mom, let's start doing some scrapbooks so that we can document, Aaron's life and that kind of thing." And so we started out. Melina actually started me out in scrapbooking. We got together, and a lot of times we'd have little crops and have people over, and then we started buying a little bit of product here and there, and then we started selling a little product here and there, and we just kind of kept growing and growing. But that started me out when my grandson was born in 2000 as far as this type crafting is concerned, the more serious type. Before then, I did it, but it was just for fun and to give presents away to people. I hope that answers your question, Miss Elsa. Let's see. Arva says, "I love your videos, Miss Eda. Thank you for sharing so much of yourself with us. I agree with one of the ladies that submitted a question in this video. You are a super crafter, and I enjoy learning from you. You are an excellent teacher. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Where do you get inspiration for your projects? Also, what setup do you use for filming, tripod, camera, lighting, editing software, etc.?" Okay. Let's answer the first question first. Where do you get your inspiration for your projects? Well, if you ask some other people out there on YouTube, I get it from others' videos, which is absolutely not true. I don't even have time to watch other people's videos. I wish I did. May and I have talked about many, many times. We don't even have time to watch each other's videos. And we teach together a lot, so we love watching each other's videos and supporting each other, but I don't even have time to watch hers. I might look and skim through it real quick, but I don't have time to sit down and watch a 30-minute video. I just don't have that kind of time. So I don't watch other people's videos. I wish I could. I wish I had the time to. But I do get a lot of my inspiration either off Pinterest or just in my everyday life. I'll look at something and think, I think I can make that. Or I'll look at a paper pad and think, wow, that would look beautiful in a mini album. And then I try to come up with different ways to make mini albums or different ways to make cards. I don't like making the same thing that somebody else has already made 100 times. I like trying to take it and give it another twist and give it something a little bit different and a little bit more interesting. Now, that's just not to say that sometimes I may make something and it may look like somebody else's. And if it does, I don't know. Didn't mean for it to, but I think that's where they get that I copy people. Because when you've been crafting as many years as I have and been doing videos as many years as I have, you are going to make something that looks similar to somebody else's. That's just the way it goes. But most of my inspiration, I skim through Pinterest and I'll see something that is really pretty, and I don't go in there and copy down measurements and all that kind of stuff. I just look at it and then I jot me a note down and I say, I can make something that is similar to that. Or I can make a mini album that looks similar to that. Or I can make a mini album and add a few twists to it, and that would be really pretty. But a lot of times it's just me looking around my craft room and going, wow, I need to make something that looks like that. As a matter of fact, I was looking at this the other day. You know, I did this in my video. I showed this in one of my videos. This is something that Arteza sent me along with this. This came in a pack with other things, and I'll link the video down below where they sent me this. But I was looking at this the other day, and I thought, man, I can make that out of chipboard and put some little albums in there and sit it beside my chair, and then I could put my book in here and the remote control and all that kind of stuff. So I plan on making one of these similar to this with a chipboard, so keep watching for that. But that's a lot of where I get my inspiration, just in different places. And then in the middle of the night, I'll be sleeping, and all of a sudden at 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I'm like, there's a big brainstorm going on, and I've got a little notepad beside my bed, and I just jot down what I'm thinking. So sometimes it just comes to me in the middle of the night. So it's all over the place. My brain is like, well, my husband says my brain jumps more than popcorn does. It's always all over the place. But that's where I get a lot of my inspiration, just different places. And as far as the setup that I'm using for my filming, now I started out with this camera many, many years ago. This is a Sony, it's a Sony HDR6X220. When I first started filming, I started out with this camera. It's the one that, you know, has a little pop out where you can watch yourself on the screen and that kind of thing. This worked very, very well, and still works well. If sometimes I will still go back to this if I want to do something with my tripod, because it hooks right onto the tripod and works great. It'll zoom in great. It's got a wonderful zoom. I absolutely love it, but it doesn't hook up to the computer. So therefore, this won't run through my computer, and I needed a program that would run through my computer where I didn't have to take the little... On this one, you have to take, and let me find it, because it's been so long since I've used it, I can't remember where it is now. Here it is in the bottom. On this one, you have to take the little card out and put it in your computer and download the video, and then upload the video into the software that you're using to edit with, and then upload it to video. So I had to do 3 or 4 different things before I could actually get to the point to where I could post a video. So I wanted a camera that would run through my computer so that I could just, while I'm filming, like right now while I'm filming, this video is going into my computer, and then all I have to do when I get finished is just put it into my iMovie, and then I just edit from there and upload it. And it's quick and simple. So I still love this one. It still does everything that I need it to do. And I used the little microphone that was on this, and it worked great. But then I decided I needed something to run through my computer. So now I am using, and let me look, I'm using a Logitech little camera, and I will take a photo and put it at the end, as well as the photo of, I'm using a blue microphone, and I'll take a photo of that, and I'll also link everything below. My tripod that I've had for years and years, I still use it. It'll work on either one of my video cameras. And like I said, my microphone is the blue, and then I have a boom handle that comes over, and it hangs my microphone down. As a matter of fact, if I pull it down, you can probably see. There's my microphone right there. It's huge. It's humongous. But the little boom handle hangs over and holds my mic right here in front of me. And then my camera is right up there, and I've got it hooked with just one of those little curved clip-ons that you can do. So when I take the photo, you'll see all that. As far as my editing software, I use iMovie. I use the latest version of iMovie. It's free, but you have to have a Mac computer to use that on. And if I'm not editing on my Mac, then I edit through Movie Maker, which is what I edited this one through. So Movie Maker if you don't have a Mac, iMovie if you have a Mac. I can also edit through the Adobe Illustrator. It has a program on there where you can edit through, but to me it's a little bit more difficult to edit through that one. So I don't use that one real often. So let's see if I covered lighting. Y'all would really laugh if you knew what lighting I use. I'm going to pull one over and let you see. This is one of my lights right here. I'm not going to shine it up because it'll actually blind you. It's just a little clip-on light that my husband got from Lowe's many, many moons ago. It lights up pretty well. I mean, you see my videos. They're pretty lit up. But I also work in a room that has windows all the way around me, so I have a lot of outside light that comes in. And then I have a clip-on light that's right up here. That's a big bar light that shines down. I have a ring light, but I don't use it a lot because to me it's a little bit overkill. It makes everything wash out a little bit too much. So if I'm filming at night, I'll use the ring light, but during the day I really don't need it because I have so much natural light coming in the room. So let's see if I call tripod, camera, lighting, editing software. I think I covered all of your questions. So that is it for today. Watch for Tuesday, and we will put that video up on the different ways that you can use your Crop-A-Dile to make beautiful projects. I'll figure that out somehow between now and then. And then don't forget to be watching for the upcycle project for that little this little thing that I showed a little while ago. We'll be making one of those with some chipboard. And if you have any questions for me for next week, leave them in the comments below. Make sure that you leave them in the comments below this video, because if you don't, I'm afraid I'll miss them. So if you want me to answer some questions, just leave them down there and I'll answer as many and as much as I can. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really, really, really appreciate it more than you ever know. Love you guys. Bye-bye.